In today's video we move a bunch of blue neons and 3 Jello reefs in a Guinness cup.
So here's the 5.5 gallon fry tank. It's been filtered by a corner sponge filter that you can see in the right hand side of the tank there, and then a small little hang on the back that's rated for a 10 gallon. And then I've got an Aquarium heater in there that's preset for 78 degrees. As you can see, I have a fry net in the tank, and this is filled with about 25 to 30 blue neon fry, and these are all from 2 batches that I've just recently pulled from 2 holding females. And although there is a disparity in the size of the fry, none of them seem to be picking on each other, and they're all eating pretty good. Down in the main body of the 5.5 gallon, we've got 6 bigger blue neons and then 3 Jello reefs that we're actually going to move out today. So first off, we're going to partially drain the tank by about 50%. Just do this with a siphon hose into a bucket, and I'll brush around the tank to try and pull up any detritus and uneaten food while I'm doing it. During this process, I also try and be slow and controlled in order not to spook or stress out any of the fry, although I did speed up this part of the video just for you guys. After the tank's partially drained, I then pulled out the fry net and put them into the bucket of tank water that I just drained out of the tank, just so they could stay in the same tank water that they just came out of. And in this clip you can really see the difference in the size between the 2 different batches that I've got in there, which I think is really cool. Back in the tank, I continued to remove the decor, so the 2 little fake pieces of driftwood that I've got were taken out. And then it's time to catch the fish, which can sometimes be problematic, especially when you're catching 2 different variants of a Luna Cara or peacocks, as when they get stressed out, the colour's dull and the bars sometimes dull as well. So if you've got 2 types of peacocks in a tank and you stress them out like I've done here, it's really difficult to tell between, say, blue neons and a Luna Cara mainlandish sulphur heads or something like that. In this case, however, I've got Placidochromis Jello reefs and blue neons. The Placidochromis Jello reefs luckily kept the 3 spots that they've got on the bodies, even though they were stressed out, so it was easy to differentiate between the 2. The Jello reefs that I had in there were also slightly bigger than the 6 blue neons that I had, so that made it easier for me. I simply just caught them in the net, kept them in a little bit of water so they could still obviously breathe, and then I picked them up, put them in this Guinness cup. And this video is actually sponsored by Guinness. No, just kidding, I wish. I love Guinness. But I then transferred the Jello reefs over to the 10 gallon with the Jello reefs and the Luandas, and then put the 6 blue neons back into this tank, and then began to redecorate the tank in preparation for the other 25-30 blue neons that were about to go in there. In order to do that, I simply picked up the breeder net from the 5 gallon bucket and then gently put them into the tank, turned the breeder net on its side and just slowly let them swim out. I think it's important to let them swim out by himself and kind of check the tank out first before they go in, but they all did good. All got out there. Last little one got out there. He was the shyest, but he's doing fine now. And there they all are. I would say there's probably about 35 or 40 in total. So there's going to be some blue neons in the future available for you guys. Hit me up in the comments if you might want some. And this was how the tank looked with all the fish in it. As you can see, I put the driftwood back in just to give a few hiding spaces for the smaller fish. And then there's the Guinness cup again. They must be sponsoring this video. I mean, it's been shown up twice now. It's becoming an issue. But there you go. That's how the Guinness cup comes in handy. I didn't want to disturb the fish too much or the sand, so I put the Guinness cup in there and then throw the water from the cup into there. Doesn't disturb any of the fish, so It's a nice little ploy if you've got a small fry tank. If you want to steal it, I'm fine with it. Just make sure you use a Guinness cup. And maybe tag me in a video on YouTube or Instagram if you're using the Guinness cup. We could call it Guinness cup water changes. I don't know. You decide. We can come up with something. Anyway, this is a 5.5 gallon now. All the fish are doing good. Seem to be hanging out in that right corner of the tank near the plant and the sponge filter. But that was the first night. So let's look forward and go to 2 or 3 days later. And let's see how they all look in the tank once they've relaxed and got used to it. So the tank 2 days later is still kind of the same. They still love that right hand corner. But you can see there's a lot more activity and the fish are swimming around the aquarium and getting used to the aquarium. Sadly, I did actually lose 2 of the smaller fry the morning after the move. I would say that's just stress, and quite frankly, I couldn't do anything about it, I don't think. I think I made it as seamless as possible. I just think it was a change of environment and being in a bigger tank with maybe a few bigger fish, and it just kind of stressed them out. So a little bit upset I lost them, but for the most part, we've got about 35 or 40 blue neons in there, and they're all looking good, all eating. They've all got places where they can hide under the fake driftwood and that kind of thing. And we're now looking at the tank a week later, and we've lost no others since then. So happy days, 35 or 40 blue neons, can't really complain. I'm looking forward to them getting in a bigger tank once I'm available to put them in a bigger tank. That's coming, trust me. Moving into a new house mid to late February, so I'm pretty buzzing about that. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen the plans for the future house, and I mentioned them a few weeks ago on a previous video, so if you want to try and find it, you can, but all I'm saying for now is that there's some big changes. But for the 5.5 gallon, looking good. I'm going to be doing water changes every 2. Oh, just saw that little youngling eat that piece of flake there. That was cool. I'm going to be doing water changes every 2 or 3 days just to keep the nitrates down. Feeding 2 times a day, algae wafers, omega-1, super colour flakes, northfin bug bites, a little bit of everything. So these guys should be growing pretty soon, and hopefully I should have some blue neon juveniles or fry to ship out to you guys if you want them in the spring. That's the plan right now. So let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do. We're over 2,000, I'm buzzing. Aim for next year is to be over 5, so let's make it happen. Thanks again for watching, and most of all, remember that this video was sponsored by Guinness. If that's all you take away from this video, I am buzzing with it. But on a serious note, thanks a lot for watching, subscribing, liking, all that stuff that you guys do. Looking forward to 2019. Hopefully it'll be a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.